Good morning, guys, girls. Tim, Keith, and Rob with you here this morning. Puppy Monkey Baby. That's a new one on me, but hey, roll with it, baby. It's Sunday morning, so we're rolling with it.
Alex, is that you?
We don't we don't know who it is, but uh, last week college we had Mike, Tim, Keith, Larry, Bob, Harris, Rob, and Brian. Give Brian gave a few when he came in with us of his picks. Let's go through the college picks. Let's start with Thursday night. We got Mike here going to join us as well.
Hey,
Yeah.
Michael.
I hope the
Good
Bills beat
morning.
the dog crap out of the Packers today. Hate the Packers, says
You just
Puppy. What's up, Mike?
good morning.
PMB.
All right. So let's give a review of Thursday night. We had Virginia
You
Tech.
don't
Yeah, I don't have me here.
We had Virginia Tech at NC State. NC State 22, Virginia Tech 21. No way in the world did they cover that game of 13 flat. So Virginia Tech, if you pick them, you end up winning. Rob gets 2. Mike gets 2. Harris got 2. Bob, Larry, Tim, and Keith all got 1 for the over on that ball game. The Utah at Washington State game, late Thursday night game. Washington State they covered, but Utah does win the ball game 21-18. Utah is still in the Pac-12 talk as far as being there for the championship.
Okay.
Keith got 2 points on that one. And then the unders, Larry and Mike both got 1 point for that. Then we go into the Saturday games. What's up, PJ?
So nobody else got anything on that?
No, that was it. That was it. Saturday, we had an Oklahoma State team that decided not to get off the bus.
Yeah.
It's like,
Out of campus.
I don't even know if they went to the stadium.
yeah,
I mean,
like Mike said, they may not have left their campus. Maybe it just
Yeah.
laid down for a little bit. Kansas State 48-0. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Oh.
I mean,
no, I didn't.
no, it was a
Not that big of a blowout, no.
No, it was a 1 point. It was a pick'em game. The 57 with the under. Well, Kansas State said we did all we could, folks. We did.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State could throw 10 in there for us, and
They called a mercy rule, so they couldn't score anymore. I mean,
in high school in Pennsylvania, they keep a clock running even during injuries. So if you got an injury and they taking somebody off the field, that might be the end of the game. It's crazy.
They might
Kansas
stop
State.
for injuries. They may. But
Harris 2 points on that one. Bob picked Kansas State for 1 point. Tim picked Kansas State for 1 point, and Larry got the under for 1 point. We go to Cincinnati at UCF. Not only did Cincinnati lose their second game, they're out of the national championship talk completely. They can't win it now. They're out of here. UCF wins. It was pretty much a pick'em game, and it stayed under the total. Rob gets 1 point there. Bob gets 2 points for the pick and the under. Then we got Tim, Keith, Larry, and Harris all got 1 point each for picking the under. Ohio State's definitely a resilient team, but I think we saw some holes in that team yesterday. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Notre Dame at Syracuse. That's another team that did not show up yesterday. They played pretty well in the second.
Hold on. To be fair, their starting quarterback got injured in the first quarter.
Yeah.
yeah,
They did.
the backup actually played fairly well, but
He did
he
play
actually was
pretty
getting
well.
back in the game.
And then Notre Dame just spread their wings there in the second half. So 41-24. So Syracuse took care of the over-under themselves. So it went that total went over the total. Keith got 2 points. Harris got 2 points. Let's see. Larry and Mike got 1 point. And then for the over, Bob got 1 point. Then we go to TCU at West Virginia. And I'll tell you one thing. If you're a TCU fan, all I can say is I've watched them play 3 times this year. If you don't have any fingernails, I fully understand why. Because they keep you on the edge of your seat, and then you fall off the seat a couple of times. Yeah, 41-31, and it goes over. 41 sounds like, okay, well, this team had control. No, they didn't. They scored late in the game.
Yeah, a lot of TCU alumni are probably on Xanax.
Yeah, they are. They got to be on some crazy stuff by now. Tim got 2 points for this game. Rob, Keith, Bob, and Mike all get 1 point for the game. But if you need me to recall that, Keith, I can.
No, I got it.
Got it? All right.
Yeah.
41-31, and TCU covers a 7 and a hook. Ohio State, Penn State. Until, 8 minutes left to go in the game. This was a game.
Mhm.
And you know what? It's not like they've spread their wings. And guess what? They didn't cover. Penn
Well, that's
State
because the late
covers.
fucking touchdown by Penn State.
I
Yeah,
know.
44-31.
Cover.
Penn State showed a little bit of heart there. Did go over the total.
Because the run
And who-
defense actually decided to show up. Either that
Yeah.
or our run blocking didn't do anything.
Keith
Sorry,
got a
ours being Ohio
point.
State.
Bob got a point. Harris got a point. Rob got a point. That was my lock of the week, and it did not work out for me at all. Next, we had Oregon going to California. Oregon took care of business. I mean, not by a lot, no, but they did take care of business. 42-24. They cover, but they don't cover by a lot. It's 18 instead of 15 and a half, and over the total. I think this was a sweep all the way across. Bob gets 2 points. Rob gets 2 points. Larry, with his lock, gets 2 points. Mike gets 2. Tim gets 2. Keith gets 2. And Harris gets 2. So if Oregon would play 10 times a week for us, we would have a great week. But they don't play that often. Penn State needs to fire James Franklin. He can't win the big games. You know what? I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that.
But that was a real big game.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's one. They weren't expected to stay in the game.
No.
I got something to say for the next game.
All right, Wake Forest, Louisville. Is that who? Louisville decided to put a 48 spot on the team themselves.
Why not?
And they just did go over the total.
That's because the fact that the Louisville player decided to be an idiot and with a late minute interception decided to run around and fumbled the ball and gave Wake Forest another chance to score and put it in the over. Thank you, Louisville. I watched the last part of that game.
Yeah, so Bob gets 1 point and Tim gets a point
Thank God.
for the
Oh my
over
God,
there.
that was my lock.
Mike gets 0 there and was his lock. So not too much of a lock there.
That
was more of a lock. That was
pros this week
that
to
was a
save the
lockout.
locks.
That was more of a Loch Ness monster, right?
Yeah.
Next one we had was Missouri at South Carolina. South Carolina. I early in the week I'd already thought I took Missouri, but I did not in this game. 23-10, Missouri wins the ball game, goes under. Keith gets 2 points for that. Tim got a point for that as well with the under. Florida and Georgia. And Georgia, how about the quarterback? Stetson Bennett said, it's Georgia, Florida. If you're not talking about a effing band, it's Georgia, Florida. You know, it's this Florida Georgia line or whatever that's the name of it.
Yeah.
He said, if you're not talking about a band, it's Georgia, Florida, because guess what? You talk about the best first. And he said it ain't even close. That's what Stetson Bennett said
In
this
other
week.
words,
Yeah.
it didn't go to that point where it's not really a rivalry anymore because there's
Hey,
not enough competition involved.
what was that? Said something.
It was 28-0 at halftime.
One of the defensive coaches brought a floor mat out at the end of the game and had it in the locker room. We don't want to dirty Jacksonville's floors, and it had Florida's name on the doormat, and they walked over it and trounced over it and looked at it full of dirt. So that's what they think of Florida.
Yeah, that'll
they
come
really
back
think
someday.
they'll come back to haunt them 10 years from now when whoever's not coaching anymore. Georgia wins this game big, guys, 42-20. And they they cover by a half a point. Tell me these coaches don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, they do. Rob gets a point there. Tim gets 2, and Harris gets 2. Larry gets a point for the over, and Bob gets a point for the over. All right. Then we go to Illinois, Nebraska. Illinois is for real, folks. I'm telling you, I thought Nebraska really, homecoming week, they were going to show up. They were going to do something. They did something for a half. It was, 9-6 at half? I think something like that. They played well. Then Illinois started spreading their wings. Illinois covered the 7 points, no problem. It stayed under the total. Tim got 2 points there. Keith got 2 points there. Harris got a point. Bob got a point. And for the under, Rob and Larry both got a point each as well. Kentucky at Tennessee. This one right here, I called this one out of the gate. I said Tennessee was almost going to cover this one themselves. Kentucky quarterback, he looked like garbage.
Yes, he did.
I got to rant about something. Darius, Spencer Rattler's the biggest overrated quarterback, so much hype and so super highly touted, but overall effing trash. Next year he'll be flipping burgers at Burger King. Could be happening. I don't know. The Revis was it
Levis.
Kids
Levis.
Levis. He had 3 interceptions the last I looked. It may have went to 4. All I can say is
he almost had as many turnovers as Wake Forest did in the second half.
Yeah, and he had as many turnovers as he had more turnovers than he had points in the second half. They had 6 at halftime. It was 44-0. I mean, it's 44-6 is the score here. This was just not a nice game. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna call it right now before we even come on Tuesday night. This Tennessee team is for real, but they're gonna see the light, as some of these preachers say, when they go down to Georgia. Georgia's gonna show them the light. Hendon Hooker is not going to run around in the pocket and have all day and throw 450 yards.
No.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But Tennessee did their job here. They did everything they could. They beat everybody been put in front of them. Rob got a point. Keith got a point. Bob got 2. Larry got 2. And Harris got a point on that one.
I'll be lucky if I scored 10 points this week.
I didn't do well either. Michael, me and you might be fighting for the bottom this week. USC at Arizona. And how about a 76.5 hook? 76 and a hook, and it goes over.
Yeah.
Over the total.
No,
How about
Yes.
my
that?
block. I got that wrong.
Harris jumped on that when he said over, and I was the only one that laughed at that. And I see why now, because everybody else played.
81, right?
It went 82, 45-37.
Wow.
45-37. How about a cool 82 points? I think that's in most of the week, but I'm not sure. I think it is. Harris got a point for the over, and that's it. Everybody else took USC.
And
But
that was my
USC
lock.
and it was Keith Lock. And USC still has that one loss. They're in the talk. We go to Michigan State, Michigan, and tell me all you want to. You tell me that Jim Harbaugh did not know what the line was for this game. And the line was 21 and a hook, and they win by 22. They know the lines, folks. These coaches know the line. Trust me. Larry gets a point. Tim gets a point. Keith gets a point. For the under, Rob gets a point. Bob gets a point. And Harris gets a point. So if we'd all put our heads together on this one, we could
you
have
all
went with.
know about what happened
Yeah, we
after.
either got it all wrong. Or
Oh,
not.
after the game in
Yes.
a tunnel. After the game in a tunnel, 40 plus players get into a fight. Now, I'm like this. Now, you guys know how I feel. If it's a rivalry game and you've got kids that want to get out there and fight, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. You let them fight, and then you set them a quarter next week. Even before the game, I say let them fight. But this is not the place for it. Not in the clubhouse and stuff. You got a couple things going on. These guys have locker rooms, and you have female reporters coming in there. And if they start ripping, and they were ripping clothes off each other, the way I understand it, they were ripping jerseys off each other, headbands, and they were pulling their their hair. What do you call it? Their
The dreadlocks.
dreads. They were going by the dreads and pulling dreads out. They were using helmets as weapons. This has got to get looked into. This has got to get.
Especially in the tunnel, and cameras all over the country are
yes.
looking at it. Now,
Big Ten has got to look into this. This could
cool.
ruin Michigan's season right here. This could do it. Who is Michigan got next week? We'll tell you about that in a little bit. And Michigan State. But this could ruin their seasons if they lose 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 players next week for this, because it's probably going to be a one-game penalty for all these players.
If it ruins Michigan's season, as far as Michigan State's concerned, they might have lost
Michigan
the battle
State,
but won the war.
Yeah.
It's not
Another reason I've said all along, when they go at halftime, they need 2 locker rooms, one on one side of the field and one on the other side of the field. They do not need to be crossing each other. They need to be. I look at it this way: if you're the home team and you want the nicest locker room, you stay on that side of the field. And if it's in the heat, so be it. But if you're willing to give up the whichever side of the field you're on, you should have that locker room on that side and not have to cross over. That's my opinion. But Michigan, let's see, did I already give you Michigan's points? I think so. Yeah, I gave you the points for Michigan already.
Yeah, I got that.
Ole Miss, they didn't tell me they don't. It's like 5 coaches so far that's covered it by half a point. 2.5 point favorites. They win by 3. Ole Miss over A&M. A&M did show up for this game. They played well. Larry gets 2 points. Mike gets 2 points. Keith gets a point. Harris gets 2 points. And now you can throw Brian in there. Brian gets a point. This was Brian's first pick. So, all right. Then we go to Pittsburgh at UNC. Carolina finally spread their wings a little bit in the second half, and they win this ball game 42-24. They were a 3-point favorite, and it just does go over the total. Rob gets a point. Larry gets a point. Mike gets a point. Harris gets a point. Bob gets a point, and so did Brian. All got 1 point there. Stanford at UCLA. Stanford, that I saw part of that game. UCLA just outclassed them in this game. They really did. 38-13. I'm not sure they're not the best team in the Pac-12. You know, all week long I've been saying Utah, and also I've been talking about USC as well. Oregon's there. This is going to be a dogfight. I don't think none of the 4 get into the playoff, but at least they've got a chance, with only 1 win, to get there. And one of these teams will slide through and squeak by with only 1 win and maybe make it to the playoff. We'll see. But if you had UCLA, you did well there. Rob gets 2 points. Larry gets 2 points. Tim gets a point. Harris gets a point.
Hi, Mom.
And then we're going to
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Mike.
All right, Mike.
Mike gets a point. Keith gets a point. Bob gets a point, and Brian gets a point. So, you know what? I can do just like that anyway. There you go. I say, is he okay? Hold on. Was he leaving us? I was just muting his mic. I wasn't going to knock him out of here.
Yeah.
See if he stayed.
I think he might have just hit the screen.
May have. Because I was going to mute him because I didn't want us hearing whatever he had going on with his family. So it's still showing he's here right here with me. We'll see what happens. If I have to, I'll reboot him back in. I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that. There we go. So we just had, what was the last one? It was Stanford, UCLA.
UCLA, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now we're going to Baylor, Texas Tech. And I'm telling you, another one by half a point. 45-17. 62 points were scored there. 61 and a hook was the total. They just barely do hit it. Tim got 2 points for Baylor. Keith got 2 points for Baylor. Harris got 2 points for Baylor. Brian got 2 points for Baylor. Bob got 1 point, and Larry got 1 point, and Mike got a point for the over. Rob was left out to lunch, and we'll like it. But that's the way it worked. Then Rutgers, Minnesota. We ended up going with that game. Minnesota shows up 31-0. Rutgers does nothing, stays the under. Harris got a point. Tim got a point. And for the unders, Mike, Bob, and Brian all got points there. And that will
Mike,
do it.
Bob, and Brian.
Mike, Bob, and Brian got a point for the
Okay.
Let's see. The totals not counting for Brian, but for everybody else would be 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the most anybody can get is 40 points. Have you got the total points? Or
I
we
do.
gotta add? All right. So Mike got
13.
so 13 and 27.
Yay! Not
and he
going
said-
to bring up the rear.
Harris got
23.
he got 23 and 17. Keith got
20.
20 and 20. It doesn't get much more even than that. Larry got
18.
He got 18 and went 22. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. I got a feeling I came in last. Rob?
14.
Oh, I didn't come in last. 14 and 26. Oh, my gosh. Bob?
19.
He went 19 and 21. And Tim?
18.
18
Oh.
and 22.
Okay. I'm
And
missing something
Brian,
here. Okay.
How many points
Well,
did
I might have made a mistake. So, I mean,
How
some of you
many
might want to
point-
double check those. I was
yeah,
having to
we
go
were
jump
rolling
up and
through them
down
pretty
real
good.
quick, but I didn't want to make you repeat stuff
Let's
too
see.
much.
Brian's possibilities were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could have got 10 points, and Brian got. Do you have Brian's?
6.
6. So he went 6 and 4. All right. Very, very cool. Broncos lead now 14 to 10. Should be about the fourth quarter right now. Game 3
Did
starts.
I make a
with-
mistake?
I will look them over. I'll look them over between now and Tuesday.
All right. That's an unofficial total then. We'll just say
Right.
that.
That'll be our unofficial right now. That's right.
No, you're right, Keith. You are
Okay.
absolutely right.
So right now it's 14 to 10. So the under right now with the Broncos is looking pretty good.
I was
Yeah.
off. I was off myself by a point. Good. You are correct, Keith. I will
Oh,
confirm
okay.
that I had 18.
Cool deal. And that's the thing when we do them right here. A lot of us, Tim keeps up with it. I keep up with it. And I know I want to say Larry may keep up with it, which is very cool because that way when I do mess up,
So we're going to do the NFL
we-
ones.
yeah. So we'll look
All right. Let
up.
me write those names down again.
Well, NFL right now we don't have anything yet because we've only got one.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we got the one Thursday
What am I
night game.
thinking?
We had to
Yeah,
we
we
got
got the
the
Thursday
third.
one.
Yeah, we do have a Thursday night game. So Keith was in a rush because he and Harrison are tie for first right now.
No. I'm behind it by 3.
Now I'm talking about for in the pros, you're in the lead though because for the week because
Oh, am
you're 2-0 and Harris is 2-0
Oh,
because you both picked the Ravens and you went with the over.
and the rest of you get a point then? Or
Everybody but Mike. Mike's sitting at the bottom.
everybody got a point but Mike,
Yeah,
Right.
including Brian, right?
including Brian. We got Brian there for that. Our 3 different games today. We have the Saints, and they have the Raiders. Saints are at home, so we'll see about that. We'll see what happens there. Texans and Titans. We got another home team there. Titans just don't play the same at home on the road. We'll see if they do. And then we took the Rams. They took the 49ers. We got 3 home teams. They got the Niners in this game. I picked the Niners myself, but we had enough guys. We had one that at least said that they liked the Rams straight up, even though they're giving up 1.5 points. So
Is there any one game this week that you look at it and you say, the NFL, it seems like every weekend there's a game or 2 or a few that you take all the reason out of it, you take all the rationality, the analyzing the teams on paper and stuff, and it's just like none of that seems to matter. The other team, for whatever reason, just wins that day and does
Thursday
it
night.
by several
Thursday-
points.
Thursday night. I mean,
Is
at
there
the
any games
begin- at-
today, though,
at-
you're thinking are going to be like that?
at the beginning of the season, how many people, when they were going through, I actually got a video of one of the guys that picks. He works for the NFL Network. He went through every team and picked winners and losers all the way through. And obviously he went and picked the Buccaneers over the Ravens, and I would have figured most people would do that. Now I'll tell you
Well,
right
for
now.
instance, an example,
No rhyme or reason today if the Steelers beat the Eagles.
like the Bears beating the Patriots. I mean, nobody saw that coming.
No, you're right. Last week, let's see what game would have really just make us think, okay, this
Like the
Right.
Lions
And it-
Dolphins. Is that
and
one that could be that, or
if the Lions beat the Dolphins, yeah,
Steelers Eagles?
yeah. If the Steelers beat the Eagles, that's probably the biggest upset of the year so far because can you
Packers
pick-
Bills, maybe.
Oh,
I mean,
well, and you know what? Rappaport says he thinks the Packers have a legit chance going in there and winning tonight. I don't see it happening. They're more than one player. The Packers are, and they're missing a lot of linemen there. I'm telling you, I'll be very surprised if Rodgers gets through this game without limping off the field at least once or twice. They are hurting for certain. You add that guy from the Rams. What's his name?
McVay.
No, I'm talking about the pass rusher that came to the Bills.
Von Miller or Aaron Donald?
You add Von Miller to this team. Von Miller to this team. It's a totally different animal. They really are, because last year, what were they missing? They were missing some pass rush. They really were, and they didn't have the best offensive line. Now, what they do need, they have to put that quarterback and tell him to quit running the football. He's going to end up on IR, and then they're going to wonder, why? How did that happen? It happens because you got a 6'6" quarterback that weighs 260 and thinks he can get out here and run over defensive linemen that weigh 320, and he's just not going to keep doing it. And one of these linebackers is going to lay him out. 49ers won their last 7 regular season matchups with the Rams. Yeah, Jimmy G scares me there. Jimmy G shows up sometime, and I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Commanders and Colts. It's rumored that Ryan may even get to play off the bench today. I don't know how you can do that after you done benched him. You said you benched him for the year, and now they're coming back with us. Well, maybe we didn't do something right. This was an Irsay call. It's not a coach call right there. Irsay said he wanted Matt Ryan benched, whatever reason, but he did not. He just did not fall in the good graces of the Colts. Now, I just don't know what's happening there. Giants and Seahawks today. That's a game I would love to get to watch. I'm not going to get to watch it because the Commanders game will be on here. Giants and Seahawks. That I think the Seahawks can win 30-10, or the Giants can win 30-10, and it wouldn't surprise me because which team shows up for either one? Geno Smith could be old Geno Smith, or Geno Smith could be the revived guy. And how old is he now? Was he like 38, 37? Geno Smith. Patriots, Jets. Patriots, Jets is another one. The Patriots come in this game this week 1-point favorites.
Rob, I think you're falling under Madison Bumgarner syndrome.
Oh, he's probably 35 years old.
32.
And Geno Smith's been around as long as Madison Bumgarner. He was around when I was a kid. I was in diapers and I was watching Geno Smith play.
He started in 2013. He's just been around and kind of been hidden.
Darlene, hello, folks.
Hey, Darlene.
Patriots and the Jets. Patriots, like I say, a 1-point favorite. Zappy, is it because of Zappy? I just don't understand that. That's one. I would have thought the Jets would have been favored in this game, especially at home. Bears and Cowboys, yeah, no rhyme or reason if the Bears come out and win this ball game. It's just they're kind of outclassed this game. Cardinals, what does Murray do? Does Murray go out and turn the ball over 3 times today? If he does, the Vikings can win by 30. If he doesn't, the Vikings may squeak out that 5.5 points. Panthers and Falcons, they're both playing decent football. They're playing better without McCaffrey. They're playing better without Matt Ryan. I went with the Panthers, but I kind of look back and I'm thinking, if Mariota comes out and plays the way he's been playing this year, this Falcons team is going to cover 6 points and should do it pretty easily. Anybody got a update on the Broncos Jags? They should just about be finished. Last we saw was 14. No,
Seen 17-14.
Rob,
Jacksonville.
how old would you guess Johnny Cueto is?
Johnny Cueto.
I had to guess 34.
35.
He's 36. I thought, to me, it seems like he's been playing longer than that. But
Yeah, it's a lot of them that's like that. Yeah.
And
36.
we're about a little less than 3 minutes to go in the game.
Less than 3 minutes to go. You watching it?
But no, I've got it on Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
The Broncos are on the Jacksonville 31, so they could be in field goal range.
Do you guys think that these Amazon Prime and all these type ways they're showing football some Thursdays and Sundays is good for the game? As far as, do you think more? Obviously, not as many people are watching it. Not as many people are nearly watching these games. But do you think it's good for the game, or do you think they should say, look, CBS should get this game, or NBC should get this
it's
game?
an experiment. I mean, if it doesn't work, they can always.
Well, it's a 10-year experiment for Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, ESPN Plus, it's sort of a. I don't understand why NFL Network didn't get the game, to be honest with you.
I don't understand it at all.
NFL Plus, I think. NFL Plus and ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is you can't watch nothing's for free now. If they realize they can make a buck on it, they're going to make a buck on it.
Well, a lot of people can't afford as many of these streaming sites as.
And I'm not going to pay for it. How about you, Tammy? You go pay for it.
Well, I can get Prime Video on Twitch for free, so I can kind of, if I had a better smart TV, I could probably watch it on my TV.
I have Prime Video, but I just don't watch
It's too late on a Thursday when nobody wants to watch.
Yeah.
For matchups that people might not want to watch. Like, okay.
And Peacock, is Peacock free?
No.
There's a
free version of it, I think.
But you have to watch commercials like incessantly.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kind of like if you do watch somebody that's paid on YouTube and you sit there and watch it for a while. After a while, they just every 10 minutes they show a commercial. Some of them you can shorten down 5 seconds, but some of them you can't.
Yeah, if they had like an exclusive movie, like they had the Halloween movie that you could stream, you don't get that if you don't have the premium, I don't think.
Right.
I got you. Monday night, Bengals and Browns. Hey, finally getting a game. That's not going to be too bad, I don't think. I think it should be a decent game.
It's evened up thanks to the Bengals not having Jamar Chase, but they still have T. Higgins and Boyd to go after, and they may let the tight end run down the middle.
Yeah. Our picks, the ones against Brian, Saints and the Raiders. Tim likes the Raiders in this ball game. Me and Keith both like his Saints in this game. Do we have a chance to win this ball game? I mean, we're down 2, I think, 2 or 3. 2, I think, 2. We're down 2. Yeah. Or is a kid for the Raiders going to just run right over us? Carr. I mean, I haven't seen the Saints play this year but once, and from what I saw them, they played pretty good defensively. But I don't know offensively if they can hang with anybody. I don't know. Carr scares me. Carr scares me because you just don't know what you get, and there's a lot of quarterbacks like that now, which is crazy. But we'll see if we can make a point up on that Saints Raiders game, Texans Titans game. Tim liked the Titans, and me and you liked the Texans in this game. I extremely like it with 4 points, but Davis Mills that's a kid that's got to show up in this game for him because they haven't been running the football extremely well. The Titans we know can run the football, but it's like they don't try to run the football as much when they're on the road. I don't understand them. And Tannehill's out today. Tannehill is out today. Yeah, Tannehill is out. I saw that earlier. So I actually saw it yesterday. Tannehill's out.
Playbook to be stripped down a whole ton. Expect a lot of short passes and
a lot of probably going to be a lot of unders this week. It looks like it could be.
And maybe they'll actually run the ball more if they have whatchamacallit in the offense. So who knows?
The Browns are wearing their 1970s unis today.
Or tomorrow
night.
Tomorrow night, yeah, those orange.
They're going to all oranges for Halloween.
Maybe so.
The
Cowboys are wearing blue jerseys at home today, and the Bears are wearing the orange.
Well, those stupid-ass stars right there on the top.
No, it doesn't show that.
Oh, it's not?
They probably saved that for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, maybe. Then the Rams and 49ers. We got the Rams as a group this week. That's a
okay. That's the 80s jerseys.
Yeah.
No, that ain't the 50s and 60s jersey where they have it on the top of their shoulders.
No. It's on the stripe. There's a little star, but
Rams have got to show up this week. They did have a bye last week.
the Bears play for Halloween.
Many teams don't play well coming out of a bye no more. I don't know why. It looks like it come out flat. It's almost like you didn't. But they need to come up and who is more likely to lead his team to a Super Bowl, Brady or Rodgers this season? If either one do, it'll be Rodgers. But I don't see neither one, man. I mean,
technically the Buccaneers have the better shot because they play in a weaker division.
They're in a weak division. Minnesota's not in their division.
Right.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe Brady plays better now that his whole fucking women problem is
maybe the team kind of gets it put together by then.
They've got a lot of problems, though. Their defense wasn't playing great the other night either. And that's the one constant since he's been in Tampa. They've had a defense, but right now they're just not playing well. They are not. They're playing like garbage. Brady's offensive line, they don't run the football, which the first, 6 years he was in New England, they didn't run the football that much. He threw the ball, and they went 5-6 yards, and they called that, quote-unquote, their passing short game. Or you could call it the running
extended handoff.
Yeah. Which quarterback today throws for the most yards on any game? Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Boy, let's look around. Wow. Let's see. Oh, boy.
You want to throw maybe Dak Prescott out there?
I was going to say against the Bears, that looks awful sweet this week. Yeah, that looks like a chance there. It really does.
Or maybe you get the aerial shootout between the Jets and the Patriots.
You may end up getting that. Chiefs.
I don't see Burrow throwing for 400 against the Browns.
Yeah, the Chiefs are on their bye week. They are on their bye week this week. Yes.
Yeah, they are. Also, watch out for Josh Allen against the Packers tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you somebody you want to watch out for, just due to the fact they're playing probably the best football of anybody. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts could go out there and throw 350 on the board. He could do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it happens or not.
I heard Kurt Warner this morning was talking about Jalen Hurts, and he said he's just a little concerned about what he'll be like, A, playing from behind, and B, under pressure. He said that's the one thing he's a little concerned about.
And that's the thing, this team is well processed for the regular season. Come playoff time, you got every team in the playoffs that know how to get to the quarterback, and that's going to be harder for him. I tell you what, you want one way out there? How about Tua? Tua against that Lions defense. If he's got his head screwed on right, he could throw 400 yards today, and they're in the dome, so it's not going to be any rain. It's not going to, those Dolphins receivers are fast. If he hits them, yeah. If I were going to pick right now, if Tua's got his head screwed on right, I will say Tua throws for 360 today.
That could be a really high scoring game.
It really could be. It really could be.
Because the Lions have shown that they got some weapons when they're healthy.
The problem is here lately, the Lions have not been playing well offensively.
Sorry.
What happened on the ball game?
Well, we have a touchdown for the Broncos. Latavius Murray, a 2-yard touchdown.
And it's going to get called back.
Nope. And then as soon as the Jaguars get the ball back, first play, interception.
Oh, so it looks like the Broncos may win this game.
Yes.
What's the score?
21-17.
21-17. That's a 38. That would still be an under right now. 40's the over under.
Boy, come on, Denver. Give us a quick touchdown. Or a field goal gives us the push, or it gives us an over.
It does. And I've got the under on this one, so I'd like to see.
They're at the 25-yard line?
And how much time's left?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see. Kicked off touchback. Okay, so it's about a minute and a half.
I wonder how many. Let's see how many timeouts it.
That's the thing I don't like about Yahoo Sports. They don't give you how many timeouts they have.
No, they don't. 21-17.
Yeah.
I got the Jags with the ball.
Now there it is. Now you'll get the changeover. So it's at the 35-yard line. Murray for no yards, and they're probably going to call timeout.
Oh, they're laying down on the ball now. They're laying down on the ball.
No, they're laying down. Wilson be taking knees.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they'll probably try to run 4 plays.
They may do it. Don't think they'll try to kick a field goal? What's the score? 21-17, 28-17?
21-17.
Oh, that's right. 21-17, 38 points. Yeah. I got you. Now I've got to where the Broncos. I just switched over for me right there. 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville 35. And you say they lost a yard. So it's second.
But no gain, minute and a half. Jacksonville call timeout. So I wonder if NFL.com has their timeouts.
So chances are they're going. The Broncos, obviously, if they have a chance, they would much rather get a first down and slide than they had kick a field goal, give that other team a chance to get a touchdown and a 2-pointer and get beat. And nowadays, they will do it. We know that. Who is one player you guys think will be 100% traded by Tuesday? Oh, man.
Well, I'm hearing talk that the Jets are interested in Browns offensive lineman Jack Conklin. I also would not be shocked if the Browns lose tomorrow if Kareem Hunt is traded.
How about their receiver? How about that receiver they got from Dallas?
Oh, Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
No, because they still need – they're trusting me. They don't want to go with their rookies or go with definitely the Schwartz is not with Schwartz.
All right. 3rd and 4 at the Jacksonville 29. That's what I got here now.
It looks like the Jaguars are out of timeouts.
Oh, okay. So if they're out of timeouts, they may be able to run a clock out. Do you think Steelers trade Chase Claypool? They may well. They may do it. They might do it. And do they trade T.J. Watt? That's the bigger name. That's the bigger name right there. If they get rid of T.J. Watt, a a team like Buffalo, a team like wow, Dallas may end up stepping up getting T.J. Watt. That would be a huge pickup for some of these teams.
4th down now.
4th and 1. It's a minute 20. So
They're probably going to kick a field goal if it's on the 26.
when do you think OBJ signs with a team?
Not until he gets his knee healthy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he wants to see who's a playoff team. He doesn't care anything about playing in the regular season anymore. That's going to start becoming a trend. I'm afraid you're going to have 10 or 12, 15 free agents, especially receivers, that's going to go to Thanksgiving and not be on a team. I think it's bullshit. I think they ought to have to be signed with a team by November 1st. That's my opinion. And that way,
you can have people play in the Super Bowl that haven't been part of a team.
I know it, and I don't like it. Do you like it? No,
Well,
no.
I mean, injuries do happen.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, you can cherry pick all you want to there. That'd be like LeBron James saying, you know what, I don't think I want to play until the playoffs.
Oh, ballsy move for the Broncos. They went for it on 4th and 1. Looks like Wilson will get the first down and run out the clock.
Wow. So it stays yonder. Oh, my God.
You think they could
looks like it, barring last-second miracle. Or
that should be the last play of the game. Yeah.
Should be, yes.
First and 10 at the 25.
You think they could have a rule where, like if you were to do something like that, sign somebody that had been not playing for a certain amount of time, that you had to at least be putting somebody on IR that had started over half the games or something, or otherwise you got to sign somebody from a practice squad, or
I don't know how they're going to do it.
I don't know.
They know ways around everything, though.
Yeah. Just trying to think of how you could stop that.
Right.
I don't know if you can.
Right.
It's not like you're going to try to sign. It's got to be almost out of necessity that team would do it.
Yeah.
I'm putting 21-17 down, and with the assumption this game is going to be over soon. But
you think we're going to see a lot of college players decide to not play in bowl games again this year? Or?
Yep. And that's how many active NFL players are Hall of Fame? I couldn't tell you that. Oh my God.
Well, okay. So let's start with Brady and Rodgers.
All right, quarterbacks. They're the only two right now. They're the only two that's Hall of Fame. Bam,
let's look at Mahomes in 5 years.
And Allen in 5 years. Right.
Because Mahomes has already got a title. If we're talking coaches, I'll put Andy Reid in the Hall of Fame.
Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he has the stats.
Matt Ryan.
No.
I would put him in before Russell Wilson at this point.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers is technically retired, but he could be a Hall of Famer. He has the stats, but not exactly the postseason wins.
He does.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is playing. Kirk Cousins.
No.
Yeah. All right. So we went through the quarterbacks. Dak Prescott's not a Hall of Famer.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Not even close yet.
Not even close. No, he's behind.
He's had a lot of injuries and not played a lot.
I think he's behind. Mahomes right now.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is he behind? The kid from Buffalo?
Yeah, he is in my book.
Really, and the kid from Buffalo's only played 3 years. So
I'll give you one to watch out for a tight end. Let's see if Travis Kelce continues on his little upward swing.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's playing well.
The problem is the tight ends are getting to be the biggest,
Getting to be bigger in the game. 21-17 final. It's under. Rob gets 2 points there. Larry gets one. No, he gets two. Mike, Tim, Keith, Harris get nothing. Bob gets one, and Brian to get one on that one. All right, so that's the way that one went. I needed a point there. So through 2 games so far, Has anybody got 4 points? No.
Actually, I
No.
think I would put, as far as ahead of Dak Prescott at this point, I'd probably put Joe Burrow. I don't know if you had mentioned his name. I mean, but at least he
Yeah,
was
right.
hurt that first year, but
Right.
I don't know how many starts Prescott has. Maybe he has more than I think, but
Prescott's played for
because he's been hurt a lot.
80, maybe 80 games.
Has it been that many?
6 years. Yeah. He's played for at least that many years. Think about it. He started
I
playing.
have to take that back then, but I just
Romo, think about it. Think about how long Romo's been out. He's been there since then. And Romo's been boring the shit out of us for 5 years at least on that damn in CBS. Wow. Man, Darius, it's a lot of guys, man. It really is. Right now,
Well,
receiver.
then the other problem, we're not looking at offensive linemen. We're not
Right.
looking at,
And the thing of it
you know.
is, yep. And receivers right now, really.
okay, I'll throw a couple other names in there. Maybe an Aaron Donald or a Von Miller could be Hall of
Right.
Famers.
All
Von
right,
Miller's got a Super Bowl MVP to his name.
Is OBJ a Hall of Famer? I don't think so.
No.
No. What receiver is? What receiver out there
Yes.
is right now?
They
a
all
Hall
were
of
just
Famer?
retired. Like Fitzgerald will probably be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, Fitzgerald's definitely a Hall of Famer, I think.
you think Derrick Henry will make the Hall of Fame?
He's got to get to a Super Bowl at least.
Or he's got to get. Has he got 10,000 yards rushing yet?
No.
I don't think so.
No. If he don't get 10,000 yards rushing, he ain't gonna get there. No.
No.
And that's the thing. You know, he's been a bell cow. He's been a
Mhm.
bell cow for that team.
Ezekiel Elliott?
No way. Ezekiel Elliott ain't near as far along as I don't think.
He's got hurt too much the last couple of years.
Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott stats.
How many yards do you think Cook has so far for the Vikings?
Maybe 2,500.
Oh, I think it's more than I'll say 3,300. How many is it? Do you know, Keith?
No, I don't know.
I'll say about 3,400. Yeah, you see, Ezekiel Elliott don't have 8,000 yards rushing yet.
Yeah.
You know, he's got 60 touchdowns. That's it.
No,
And
he's got to get upwards of like 80 or 90 at least.
But I think he's going to have to be 10,000 yards. And then who was the other guy we was talking about from Titans?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry stats.
The other problem is I don't see like I said, there's no
And
dominant wide receiver right now.
And he's got
It's like-
70. He's got 7,300 yards, so he's 500 behind. He's 500 behind.
He's missed he's only played 4 games the last 2 seasons.
Who is that?
Dalvin Cook.
Cook's playing now, though, isn't he? He is playing now. I think
He's playing now, but the last 2 seasons he might have only played 6 games.
Derrick Henry. All right. The kid for the Cowboys was just talking about Elliott has averaged 4.5 yards a carry in his career, and
Okay.
Derrick Henry 4.8 in his career. That's a difference. People say, well, 0.3. That's a hell of a difference when you go and start talking about 200, 300, 400 more carries. You know, that's 300-400 more yards is what that is.
How many yards does McCaffrey have all purpose?
Christian McCaffrey stats. Christian McCaffrey has 4,000 yards rushing. And let's see.
He gets a lot of receiving yards, though.
He does get that, but yeah. I think a running back nowadays has got to have 7,000 yards.
Alvin Kamara?
Alvin Kamara may be up there. Receiving yards.
Let me see who leads the league in receiving yards this season. I'm not even sure it's even that impressive, but I could be wrong.
Could be Waddle or Hunt.
Yeah.
Or one of the Bills. I don't know.
Yeah, like your leader in rushes. Wait a minute. Oh, week 8. Hold on.
Frank Gore. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I always underestimated him in his career, but he did put up a lot of numbers.
Frank Gore stats.
Okay. So Nick Chubb is actually leading the league in rushing yards. Tyreek Hill is leading the league in receiving yards. And with Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson right behind them.
Frank Gore. Guess how many rushing yards he's got in his career?
I think it was like 12,000.
I think.
Or he was second or third all time when he retired, wasn't he? So I'm gonna say he's in the 20,000 yards.
Nah,
No.
that far. Yeah.
14?
18.
16,000 on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
30. Let's see. Somebody got a calculator around if they can. 16,000 yards on 3,735 rushes. I do know this. With 4,000 rushes would be 4 yards a carry, so it's better than that.
Yeah.
37, 35, you said?
37, 35 rushes, 16,000 yards.
4.2 maybe.
Yep.
It's
Right on, Keith. 4.28.
How many yards does Mixon have in his career? I don't know if there's any running backs right now that have real big totals. The teams pass so much.
and yeah, Gore has almost 4,000 yards receiving yards.
Wow.
3,985 yards, 8.2 yards of reception. He's a Hall of Famer in my book. That's 18,000 yards. That's 20,000 yards.
He's probably close to what Marshall Falk had in his career. Then.
Let's see.
Or Edgar and James.
Marshall Falk stats. Marshall Falk didn't have but 12,000 yards rushing in his career.
But how many receiving yards did he have?
Right. All right. Let's look in there and I'll tell you. And he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he had 12,279 career rushing yards. Receiving yards, 6,800. So he didn't have.
Pretty good.
So he doesn't have as many. He's got 19,000 total yards. So is Frank Gore a Hall of Fame? I say he is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Frank Gore's a Hall of
Based
Famer.
on that, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't keep him out.
Now Marshall Falk has 100 touchdowns. That makes a
That's what
difference.
helps him.
4.3 yards carrying. That's the same as.
How many yards did Tomlinson end up with?
LaDainian
You know, Tim?
Tomlinson stats.
If I had to guess, it's maybe a little bit less than Gore, maybe.
Oh yeah, 13,600.
Right, and but he also has like what?
145 touchdowns.
Yeah, but like 6 or 7 of them are like passing touchdowns.
Receiving, you mean?
No, throwing the ball.
Throwing? Oh, he threw passes
Yeah.
for touchdowns?
Oh yeah, he was the king of the stretch play to the right and throw the 1-yard touchdown to the tight end.
Did he have any experience at quarterback in his?
No, he may have done it in high school, but
4,700 yards receiving, 13.6 running, 4.3. The same as Gore. The same as 4.3. How about that?
That there was that one year he just was unstoppable. I mean,
yeah. He had 7 touchdown passes in his career, LaDainian Tomlinson. There are some decent pro quarter, like Johnny Manziel, I don't think threw 7 touchdown passes.
Two,
you just said decent.
Yeah, I did say, I'm sorry, there are bust quarterbacks who might not have thrown 7 touchdown passes.
how about this one? 2006, he rushed 348 times for 1,815 yards, 5.2 a carry, 28 touchdowns. His longest rush was 85 yards. And He only had 2 fumbles that year. That was it.
That's incredible.
2 fumbles out of 348 carries.
So who ended up having the most kick returns for touchdowns in his career?
Was
What?
that Josh Cribbs or Hester?
Devin Hester, or
Might have been
was it?
Hester.
Yeah.
Are we talking kickoff returns or just punt returns or just total returns?
And then Mike Nelms.
Kickoff returns, I was
Mike,
thinking of.
Mike Nelms had a few for Washington too. He was good.
It's Brian Mitchell, Cribbs, and Hester, I think.
Who was your top 3 running backs of all time? You know what?
It's hard to go across eras.
Right. And me and Keith and Tim would probably give you 8 different ones.
I mean,
We'll
Barry
probably
Sanders would be on my list. Probably Walter Payton, and I don't know about
Reagan's.
No, I don't know about
Yeah.
Smith because he had such a good offensive line in front of him.
Yeah.
Um,
To me, I think the best of all time. Nobody would say he's the best of all time. But to me, he is. The guy that played for the Rams,
Dickerson?
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, that name crossed my mind.
I really liked Eric Dickerson. I really liked the guy for the Houston Oilers,
Campbell.
Earl Campbell.
And you can't count out, as far as a football player, you can't count out O.J. Simpson. I mean, he was
No,
an
you can't.
incredible running back.
And wow, and
Right.
it's so man. You can go to almost every team and pick one. You really could.
So your all-time leading returner for return touchdowns, we're talking kicks, punts, interceptions, and fumbles, is Devin Hester at 20.
Yeah.
Dion is second at 19. Then you have Rod Woodson as a surprising third. And then Rondé Barber with 14. That's kind of shocking. I didn't think it was that many. And then Brian Mitchell. Never heard of Lamar Parrish. Ed Reed, Darren Sharper, Aeneas Williams, and
Lamar Parrish,
yes.
Cincinnati. I think he played for Cincinnati. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I want to say he was in his 70s. I think. Now, I'm not sure.
I'll look him up. Ed Reed, Darren Sharper, and Aeneas Williams, and Charles Woodson, all with 13. Charles Woodson seemed to be your Hall of Famer.
Let's see. 3/4. I'm still thinking 3 running backs. I'm gonna say Earl Campbell was number 2. I'm gonna say Eric Dickerson number 1. And the guy for the Raiders would have been there too if he'd have played. He just got hurt.
Jackson. Yeah.
Bo Jackson would have been there.
Yeah, he was a 70s and 80s guy for Lamar Parrish.
And I'll say Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders played as long as he wanted to and quit.
Yeah, or
And
a team that didn't win a lot. Him and Peyton both. Right.
Darius, 2 years may turn into 2 months. I don't think Dion's going to be there by the end of this season. He's going elsewhere. And you can't blame the guy.
No.
You got so many people of color wanting to raise hell about who's representing the black race. Look,
he's representing himself. That's what he's
doing. Dion's big mouth got him in trouble though, because he said he'd never leave to go to a Power 5 team. And now, what the hell do you do? If you do it, everybody's going to back up your words and all. But they won yesterday, 35-0 or something over some over a team I don't know much about, but they beat the crap out of them 35-0. Jackson, Mississippi is the hottest place in town now. I personally think he'll be the Texas A&M coach. That's my opinion. I think Texas A&M will get rid of their coach, pay him a hefty amount, and then Dion comes in there and probably makes $8.5-9 million. Who would you guys vote for Coach of the Year so far in college and in pros? Well, college has got to be the guy from TCU. What the hell's his name?
Not Peterson.
No.
I don't even know who TCU
Bielema.
is.
Huh?
Bielema?
No,
No,
he's in.
He's in
Illinois, but I'm just saying as an option.
Oh yeah, he could be. What's the guy
Sonny
from TCU?
Dykes.
Sonny Dykes. Yeah, Sonny Dykes probably gets it from me right now.
Well, the problem is he just got introduced at the end of last season. So this is his first season at TCU.
Yeah, right. And he's 8-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, he's not going to bum out a first-year contract.
No.
bigger
They said
school.
who would get coach of the year right
Oh,
now?
yeah. Right now,
Coach
he would
of the
have
year.
to.
Is
He
the
would-
coach
he
of
would be-
Tennessee going to be on that list? or-
Josh Heupel. Josh Heupel will be, but they're not going to go undefeated. So, they're not making the playoffs. I'm sorry to say it. They're not going to make it. NFL, I would say Nick Sirianni of the Eagles. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sirianni would have to be. And as much, write that down, Darius. Write that date down. Put down October 30th, 2022. You said that on my chat. Okay? Next year at this time, if the Eagles are sitting at 2-6, they're going to be talking about wanting to kick his ass to the street. That's Philadelphia for you. I mean, look at Washington. My God, look what we've put up with this garbage dump guy we got.
Rivera?
Yeah. Yep. Write that number down. Yeah.
Rivera's probably a decent defensive coordinator, but I just put him in the head coaching job.
We don't want him in Washington no longer anyway.
No.
Let's send him somewhere
Well, yeah, but
else.
I mean, the thing is we don't want anybody they've ever hired in the last 30 years or 25 years.
Except Gibbs, even
Like
Gibbs,
Gibbs, yeah, but
even a retread of Gibbs was better than anything we get now.
yeah.
They won't go
Or
out
Steve
and pay.
Spurrier.
They won't go. Yeah, Steve Spurrier, or who was the offensive coordinator in Dallas? What was that trash?
North Turner.
North Turner.
Norv Turner. Yeah, he was a waste.
I mean, I kind of actually didn't mind Jay Gruden too much, but I just
No,
he
he didn't. But he had too big a mouth, and we found out later on that it ended up biting him in his ass. Yeah, let's just hope that Pittsburgh fires their coach, and we got $10 million a year. We can pay him, and let him be our coach for the next 6 years.
So will Sean Payton be back coaching before a year or two, or
And Sean Payton wants that Dallas job. Sean Payton wants that Dallas
that's
job.
where I expect you'll end up.
And the fact is, and people say, well, they can't fire him because they got a winning record. Bullshit. All they got to do is find out if he's messed around with some woman or if
They'll set him up, they'll get some
Right.
woman to
look at Jacksonville. Look at Jacksonville. You don't got to have a losing record, although it helps if it helps get rid of him that way. But right now, let's be for real about it. Look at all the garbage that what's his name brings with him if he went to a college program. The guy that left Jacksonville,
Urban
Meyer.
Urban Meyer. And what college right now would not hire Urban Meyer if their coach left? I bet it's not five. I bet you Notre Dame would hire him tomorrow if Notre Dame's coach left. What do you think, Tim?
He'll at least be on the interview list.
Yes. You can't name 5 places where Urban Meyer couldn't go to. If Michigan's coach left tomorrow, he could get that job. And you think about what they've said about Urban Meyer over the last 10, 15 years. They've called him every name in the book. Yep, but he's on our team now. We take all that back. Yeah. Alabama. If Alabama's coaching job came up tomorrow, Urban Meyer could have it.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Meyer could have it. And you've got coordinators on that team that all they are saying is, when are you leaving Coach Saban? Because they're wanting that job. And it's probably not going to be theirs. It's probably not. They're sitting there. Prescott is 54 and 33 as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be in your college football poll for all? Okay. Oh, how did pinball go yesterday, Tim? He can update us on that.
Oh, pinball was awful. Just awful all the way around. I think I maybe had 1 or 2 good games. That was it out of 12. Just awful. I was tilting machines. I tilted one the final ball. I didn't realize it gave it to me back, and I still tilted it and didn't give a shit. It was awful.
Keith, you're
Yeah.
4 in order right now. You're 4 in order that would be in the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you can put them
Oh,
in
gosh,
order.
you got to give me a chance to look at that.
All right, Tim, you go for it. Tim can do
All
it
right,
first, then Keith.
let's see.
You just let me know when you're ready, Keith.
Just at this time or projected at the end of the season?
Right now, you would have 1 as this, 2 as this, 3
All right,
as this.
1
4
is
as
Georgia. 2 would probably be Tennessee. 3 would be Ohio State. And 4 would probably be TCU over Michigan.
Wow. Okay. Keith.
Gosh, to have Georgia would be number 1. I could probably be sold on Tennessee at number 2 because they do have that win over Alabama. But right now, I would still go with Ohio State. So I'll go with Tennessee 3. 4. See, they have 2 SEC and 2 Big Ten. I don't really like doing that. So TCU is a possibility.
Yeah, Clemson.
Yeah, so I would probably
You
keep
got
Clemson
Michigan.
ahead of them right now. So I'd probably put Clemson
Okay.
number 4.
And I would go. This is me now. This is purely me.
Against what Harris's advisement would be.
A lot of people ain't gonna like this, and if you don't, you don't. I like Georgia number 1. I like Michigan number 2. I like Ohio State number 3, and I like TCU number 4. I would keep Tennessee out right now.
That's
Tennessee.
fair.
Tennessee, you've lost. Tennessee, you win this week. Tennessee, you win this week. I'll put you in the top 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
You beat Georgia, and you go to Georgia's house and beat them. I'll take them. Darius
Don't
says
be shocked if the number 1 v number 2 is Georgia versus Tennessee. I'm looking at like projected top 25.
Darius has Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Clemson. I think Michigan lost a little bit of an edge yesterday, playing a bad first half. But I still think they played better than Ohio State did some. Ohio State, man, yesterday, they were rusty yesterday.
Well, they
Michigan
weren't rusty.
has
They
Rutgers
lost
and
one of their
Nebraska.
running backs in the
They had
first half.
plus they hadn't played though. They hadn't played in a week too.
Yeah,
They
true.
were off. They
Yeah,
were
they
off for
were.
a week. So yeah. And Michigan State came out and played a good first half, you know.
Also, I may or may not be here for Tuesday. I think I'm gonna go see Black Adam, the movie. So I may not be here. So
All right.
What's
it'll
that
be
movie
like if I
about?
go see the movie early enough, we could do that.
We
But-
could do a Monday night because it's
The World Series is Tuesday.
no,
Yeah.
right. No World
Well, actually,
Series.
the World
game.
Series is Monday night as well. It's Monday,
It's all-
Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. They're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're right.
So
Yeah.
we'll just keep Tuesday as the.
Yeah, we can hold Tuesday. Michigan will have suspensions for the next game versus Rutgers. Yeah. And they're thanking the Lord that they're playing Rutgers and they're not playing Illinois or
Right.
or Penn State. Game 3 is tomorrow, right? They're off today. Tonight, it's working out great for Philadelphia. It's wild the way they do it. The Philadelphia Union today played in the Eastern Conference Final of it soccer. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Phillies play, and then guess who plays Thursday night?
The
Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles play Thursday night. So how about that? How about that? That works out perfect for them. They got 5 days in a row now. If they want to go down to down to Broad Street, they can go find something to
and
watch.
thankfully, none of the MAC teams are in the top 25 because the MACtion starts Tuesday.
Right.
Because it's early November, they start their Tuesday. They said
They'll
there
start
was
playing
from now
Tuesday,
until like December there will be a
Right,
pro
until
or
about
college
December
game.
5th or 7th or something. For the next 4 weeks, they'll be playing, or 5 weeks, they'll be playing a Tuesday night game.
Right. There'll be a pro or college game 7 days a week.
Really?
Yep. Because of the MAC playing on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh,
to
they're
get
going to be
their-
playing both days. Okay.
Yeah, let me
Oh,
pull up
okay.
the schedule for
All right.
Oh, The Rock is in that movie.
what
Do you-
movie. Oh,
Black
Black
Adam?
Adam. Yes, yes.
Do you think Kamara gets traded? All I know is this.
Mhm.
You better do your homework on him. The NFL has not said they're not going to put any sanctions on Kamara yet, and sometimes they can go a year later. And Kamara had that problems. You better find out if you're going to have any problems, because now I guarantee you the Browns regret signing their quarterback, seeing that they ended up now with him sitting down for half a year. And who knows what kind of shape he's going to be in. Is he allowed back in the facilities yet?
Who?
Browns quarterback.
Watson. Yes, I believe he is, but he cannot
Okay.
practice. He can have meetings, but he cannot practice.
So can he work out?
Not sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you can't work in practice, you wouldn't think he could work out then. That would kind of defy the logic there. Yeah. So yeah.
So I'm seeing the Big 12 just got a $2.3 billion TV deal with ESPN and Fox.
Right.
Each school is going to get $50 million. Your MAC games this week, Tuesday at 7 is Ball State and Kent State on ESPNU.
that's Jose Alvarado's favorite team, Ball State.
Well, then you have the Buffalo Bulls taking on the Ohio Bobcats at 7:30. Both teams are 5-3, so that's a big matchup there.
Yeah, 2.28 billion TV extension.
What do you think the state of his balls are?
Hadn't seen him play.
Low and to the right.
Yeah. Wide right. He's got what's that, Scott Norwood disease?
Yep.
He got wide right. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
All right. And then Wednesday is Central Michigan and Northern Illinois. So, Keith, you get to watch your alma mater on ESPNU.
Directional Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, not non-directional Michigan. It's stationary Michigan.
It's right in the central, huh?
Yeah. And then directional Michigan, Western, gets to play Bowling Green at Deutsch Perry Stadium. Yes, I actually know what Bowling Green's football stadium is called. Deutsch Perry, or as the BGSUers, the two that graduated there in my family, call it the Deutsch.
Tim, I see you already have a lock for the Days of Vikings. Our locks of the week, we've already played them. Keith, shoot us your lock today. A team other than the Vikings that you really, really think
has to be the over/under too, or
yeah.
I don't remember how it.
Yeah, just
how we did on all those.
You can ask me about a game right here, and you can tell me whether you.
And I think didn't Appa Brian go with the 49ers?
He did. He went with the over.
So I will not do that game either. Yeah.
And Bob went with the Bills.
Okay, so I won't go with
and
that.
And Harris went with the Cowboys. So
out of the rest of them.
Tim, you picked the Vikings this week.
Yes, I did.
So
Vikings in the over. I wouldn't be shocked if Miami maybe covers that 3.5, and then who knows if Detroit can find their offense? No DeAndre Swift. No, I don't know if they have DeAndre Swift. I don't know if they have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And you would stay under on that one too.
Possibly if they don't have their.
Yeah, right here you picked them under, but I didn't know if you still would like them as an under.
Yeah.
I really like the Eagles in the over today. I really do. I think this team can put 40 up on it on the Steelers themselves. Steelers will find a way to get a couple of field goals out of this game, but what's up, Sean? I just don't see any way possible the Steelers stay in this game for 60 minutes.
I don't see anything that really looks like a lock this week. I mean,
yeah, there are some tough games. There are a lot of tough games.
Yeah. I'm getting Eagles Steelers for my 1:00 game, and let's see if I get on anything on Fox today.
Yeah, I should probably be getting this Panthers game early. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I got Bears and Cowboys on Fox.
It's
Let's see if I get-
Steelers Eagles on CBS.
yes.
What did I pick on the Seahawks Giants game?
The Seahawks Giants. Now looking back at it, who it was -2 Seahawks.
I probably took Seattle.
You took Seattle.
What was the over under?
46 in the hook.
Probably under. Huh?
You went under. Rob.
I'll go
Keith
with
didn't-
that one.
Rob says Keith didn't say hi to me.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, and then I don't get a 4:30 game for CBS. We go to professional bull riding for 1 hour for the local news. CBS.
And then you'll have
Cleveland
But you will have a late Fox game.
yeah, that's Giants and Seahawks for me.
Yeah.
So
For me, I'll get Commanders Colts will be my late game on Fox. My early games, I don't know. I think I'll get Steelers Eagles. And if I were guessing, my early game probably be Cardinals Vikings. Are they playing early? I think they're playing early on Fox. That'll probably be it.
Oh, yeah, looks like it.
Probably Cardinals Vikings. So
Yep,
we'll see
they're
what
playing
happens.
early. Yep.
Yep,
There's
we'll see
only
what
5
happens.
early, well, 6 if you count this morning's games.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of afternoon games. Yep.
Yeah,
You all
well,
have
yeah.
a great evening. For Keith, for Tim, I'm Rob. We're going to go watch football.
See y'all later.
You guys go watch football as well. Let's see how well we did when we come back this afternoon.
Oh, well,
And
maybe
we'll
we
talk
won't
to you
want
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.